You see, Rajib, just like his father, was born with a cleft. But as a fisherman in a small village in Indonesia, the cost of surgery was out of reach. Their lives were transformed thanks to Smile Train, which sponsors free, life-changing cleft surgeries and other essential treatments. Rajib's surgery marked Smile Train's 2 millionth, and incredibly, Aleem's was the 2 million and first. Now, their smiles are a symbol of hope for children with clefts all over the world. 540 babies are born with a cleft each day, but through Smile Train, millions of lives have been changed. To learn more and support the global cleft community, visit smiletrain.org/learn. Smile Train, changing the world one smile at a time.
Breaking news, weather, entertainment, and sports. We have it all here. This is 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station.
It's time! It's time! It's beta time!
You are watching a master at work.
Truth Nation, get ready for the greatest 60 minutes in radio, giving you his authentic and bold opinions, bringing you all the information, entertainment, and conversations you gotta hear. From local issues to trending topics and headline news, it is time for Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, 1017thetruth.com, and streaming live on YouTube. Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is your award-winning host, Kyle Wallace.
Award-winning wait a minute. What up? It is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace here on Truth to Power, taking you through the greatest 60 minutes in radio that you will find. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. Also, make sure y'all watch and stream us live. 101.7 The Truth on YouTube. Hit that subscribe button as we are on our road to 5,000 subscribers. So make sure y'all hit that subscribe button, but also make sure y'all hit that thumbs up like button as well. Always got to give a shout out to my boy, my boy Benjamin and DJ Brother Z behind the board today. So what up to both of y'all? Appreciate all the love. Whoever is holding it down today, I appreciate y'all doing that as always. Now today, Truth Nation, it's election day. And you can see my shirt. Go to 1017 The Truth on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? Like, though, as I was told this morning, Kamala might have lost because I wore this shirt that says "Voting is my black job." And I told my girl, I said, "Dang, I'm wearing this loser shirt today because, you know, I voted for Kamala and she lost." She said, "Baby," she said, "that was from Michelle. Michelle a winner." She said that Kamala didn't say that. Michelle said that. I said, "You know what? You're right." So I'm representing voting is my black job. It's everybody's job to get out there and vote today. And so I'm wearing my voting is my black job shirt today. So make sure y'all get out and vote today, regardless if it's only one or two or three things on your ballot. Make sure you get out and make sure your voice gets heard. My vote. WI.gov is where you can find out what's on your ballot and your voting polling location today. So vote. Now, let me get into this because Truth Nation, something happened yesterday. So as y'all may know, I do multiple shows here. 1017 The Truth. I host Truth to Power, 12 to 1 right here on 1017 The Truth. And then from 2 to 5, I host Kyle Bruston Nortman on 94.5 ESPN Milwaukee and 100.5 ESPN Madison, 1430 ESPN Beaver Dam. So for legitimately from 12 o'clock until 5 o'clock, I am doing something for broadcast-wise. I'm either on air preparing for a show or, on air in the afternoon. So my days are usually like chop, right? Because I gotta prep for my show. So I take about 7 hours a day just between prepping and actually executing my show and show prep. And so usually when the player got to eat, I got to eat a little bit early, right? I got to eat around 11 o'clock or 11:30. I got to fit in lunch, right? I am part of the people in America that don't really get a lunch. So I don't know if my paycheck pays me to get a lunch or not, because if it does, I need to be taking like an extra hour somewhere, because your boy never really actually gets a chance to sit down, converse, and eat. I'm always eating on the go, on the fly. And I'm a forgetful person because I got a lot of responsibilities, a lot of things I got to do, Truth Nation. So yesterday, as I typically do, it's Monday. A lot of stuff I got to do. And so I told y'all doing this liquid diet, right? I told y'all I lost 6 pounds. Y'all can go ahead and see that on the YouTubes. Your boy looking slender. I walked into the office today. They say, Kyle, you look good. I said, damn, I know. And so I was on this liquid diet for a couple days, just a couple days. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to eat healthy. So I went to Target, even though I really don't like Target, so I limit my spending. I don't really mess with Target. I went to Target and I bought me some healthy food. I bought me some protein breakfast bars, right? Because I'm like, you know what? I'm trying to eat healthy. I'm trying to live healthy, y'all. And then on top of that, I said, you know what? Give me some of that salad. I need some salad. I'm going to eat healthy, right? So that was my goal yesterday. And so I brought my food into the office yesterday, as I usually do. I go ahead, put it in the fridge. And then I said, you know what? I'm going to bring my breakfast bars because I'm going to eat them at work. And so I had my 2 boxes of breakfast bars, very healthy, 18 grams of protein per bar. That's 18 grams of protein per bar. I'm telling y'all, Truth Nation, I'm trying to get healthy. I'm trying to get fit. The summer is around the corner. And so I took my lunch and I put it in the refrigerator. And I also had some chicken tenders I made because I make my own homemade chicken tenders. I throw it into not homemade, I put it in the air fryer. But I put it into my salad as well. So I put it all in the fridge. I said, there we go. We ready to go. So 11 o'clock come, I go and grab my bag and I'm like, oh, I can't eat my salad today because FYI, Kyle doesn't have an office anymore. I lost my office. It's part of my role change. Now my office is a community office. I'm out with the general population, which is awful. 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 This is my first time without having an office since 2015. This is terrible. I'm telling you this right now. I don't know how y'all survive. I haven't not had an office since 2015, a whole decade. And so I had to take my bowl. I used to have this bowl that I use for my salad. I had to take my mixing bowl home. So I went to go get my salad and I took my food out and I'm like, damn, I ain't got my bowl. I can't eat my salad. So I said, well, what am I going to do? I said, well, I'll just eat my chicken tenders. So I'm getting my chicken tenders ready. The microwave doesn't work. So I get distracted, right? I get distracted. In Truth Nation, I leave my Target bag that has my salad, that has my breakfast bars, and has my cashews that have already opened. I left it on the counter. I go and eat lunch. I do what I got to do, and I forget my bag on the counter. Now, remember, I eat lunch around 11, 11:30, and I can't go back upstairs to do nothing until after 5. So I left my lunch bag on the counter, my salad, my breakfast bars, closed, never opened. My cashews that I did open up, I unsealed it, and I was eating it on the weekend. I left it on the counter. I didn't know I left it on the counter. So then 5:30, 5:45 comes. And when that time comes, I'm getting ready to leave work because I'm a hard worker, Truth Nation. I work harder than most people around this mug. It is what it is. I come to go get my lunch, and I'm like, I don't see my lunch. I'm looking and opening. We got 4 fridges. I'm opening one fridge, don't see it. Open another fridge, don't see it. Open another fridge, don't see it. I said, what in the hell? And then I open up the freezer, Truth Nation. I look, and I'm like, I don't even see it in the fridge. I said, what? I said, what is going on? And then, Truth Nation, I tell you this. I tell you, listen, I'm about to set it off up in this mug. I looked on the counter, and I saw my cashews on the counter open. I saw my breakfast bars on the counter eating, and my salad was thrown in the trash. I said, oh, hell no. I mean, when I say I threw a fit, I threw a fit. Listen, I'm telling y'all this. I'm a Gemini, and I'm cool and calm most times. I'm chill. But, boy, I found out what these young folks be saying about crash out because I tell you, you can ask anybody in the office. I literally said, oh, hell no, this is some bleep, bleep. I was mad. I couldn't believe these people ransacked my food. How do you go in a Target bag, Truth Nation, and see a salad, and granted the salad was probably expired, see a salad in there, take the salad out, throw it out, take the boxes of unopened protein bars and open it up, and then take the cashews that was already open that I legitimately woke up on Saturday out of bed, scratch, myself and reach my hands in my cashews, and y'all just gonna put y'all nasty hands in them cashews too. I'm telling y'all, it is a cultural difference. I hate it. I hate not having an office, because had I had an office, I would have had my salad bowl here. I would have been able to eat my salad. I would have kept my breakfast bars inside there. It would have been totally different. But I was just astonished by how grotesque people are, and how in the world would you go through somebody's lunch bag? Now, y'all know me, I throw fits. And so I automatically become a detective, and I start just like saying who did what. And so we have this wonderful office administrator, Amy. Shout out to Amy. And so she was, Zach, you showed the email. See, I don't play around. I'm going to get to that. I don't play around. And so I immediately start blaming people. And so last night, I called because I had to vent. I called my mama last night.
I was wondering what this email was about.
Yeah. The email about me. I don't play around. I don't play about mine. And so I called my mom, Truth Nation, again, 833-212-1017. We're talking about Kyle's stolen food, stolen lunch. And so I called my mom to vent. And she said, "Oh, baby, I'm sorry. I got to call you back, though." And so she had to call me back. She did call me back today to ask about an update. But she said one thing she told me not to do. I said, "Mom, I'm going to send an email to Amy because she probably did it. I'm going to send her an email." And so she said, "Kyle, don't do that. Just talk to him in person." I said, "Okay." And I talked to my girl about it. My girl, I done made her into a little militant. I told her the story. She said, "Baby, send the email." I said, "Oh." I said, "But Mama said don't." She said, "Okay." Thank goodness I didn't send the email. I was mad. And so then today I came into the office, and I knew I was going to charge Amy up. That's my homegirl, but I knew I was going to charge her up because I said, well, who the hell else would take my food? And so I said, "Hey, good morning, Amy." She said, "Hey, Kyle." I said, "Did you see a Target bag yesterday that had salad in it and had some breakfast bars?" She said, "I did see that bag. It was out all day. It was out all day." I said, "Yeah. Somebody took my stuff out." She said, I actually saw. I thought that, somebody just threw their salad away and then somebody just put it out there. I said, "So you didn't do it?" She said, "Hell no, I didn't do it." I said, "That's my girl, Amy." And so Amy went on after that. After I got her riled up, Amy sent out a whole office email letting people know. She said, "I'm sorry for another email this morning, but I wanted to send a quick reminder regarding food left out in the kitchen. Yesterday, a Target bag was left on the island with a bag of salad, a box of snacks, and a can of cashews. By the end of the day, the snacks had been taken out of the bag and everyone had eaten them. However, this bag was actually left behind by one of our teammates on accident. If you ever come across food that you are unsure about, please check with me before assuming it's up for grabs. This will help ensure that no one loses something they intended to keep." That's why I said, Amy, I emailed Amy. I said, "Amy, you my damn homegirl. You my homie." And she just smiled and said, "I know." Aww. So the moral of the story is, Truth Nation, people are scoundrels around here. People are disgusting. That's what it comes down to. I was pissed. I was upset. Upset all morning long. Oh, I can't say that? Oh, 10 seconds. I'm back. I was mad. I was angry yesterday. So moral of the story is, Truth Nation, culturally, black people and white people are very different, and we just need to be aware. And 833-212-1017, was I wrong? Am I wrong for being upset about this? Was I wrong for leaving my food out like that? Like, I understand I made a mistake, but dang, for y'all to go through my food like that is crazy, just crazy. And so at the end of the day, what I decide I'm going to do is anytime I see food out in this area here, free food up for grabs, it's mine. It is 100% mine. 833-212-1017. That is the story of Kyle's morning and last night. And I'm telling y'all, I was heated. I was having a great day, too. A great day yesterday. And then I come back, and all of a sudden, our first day having to be out in general population with the non-important folk that I am now non-important, my food gets taken. It's crazy around here. But 833-212-1017, that's my story for the day, Truth Nation. I just needed to vent. I just needed a moment to vent because I could not believe that they stole my food. But you know what? I guess black lives really matter because Amy sent out that email supporting my black ass. So 833-212-1017. On the other side, we'll have more important conversations to talk about because today is election day. The major thing on our ballot that we are going to see is going to be the state superintendent race. There are 3 candidates that are running for state superintendent. I ran through those candidates yesterday. I told y'all who I support, but I really wanted to have more of a conversation talking about, charter schools and choice schools and public schools and what that all means and where I stand at. Because, again, yesterday I said I believe that a lot of these charter schools are pimping our system. A lot of these charter schools are pimping our children. A lot of these charter schools are taking our tax dollars and not successfully educating our students. So what I'm going to do today, y'all, I'm going to call out some schools because I'll say this. I believe these schools offer a great alternative. But if my kid goes to these schools and they're still underperforming at the same rate as they would at the other public school, then what the hell is the difference? 833-212-1017. We're going to talk about that, how MPS is basically having money siphoned off them, but more so about how the charter and choice schools, some, not all, some are just pimping us out of our tax dollars. Keep it locked. This is Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Start jamming in the morning and get your daily drop of juice.
Juice gets you hydrated and started for your day. And that's what we plan to do from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Every single morning, we're going to be keeping you in the mix, talking about everything you care about all before 9 a.m.
So wipe that crust out your eyes and get ready for Jamming with Juice.
Turning your mornings into your favorite part of the day.
Get that stank breath out of here. Brush your teeth.
It's it, bro. Like, what? Catch Jammin' with Juice
From 7 a.m. to 9 a.m.
Good morning, Milwaukee.
Heart disease won't stop us. Diabetes won't slow us down. Allergies, high blood pressure, shoulder pain, cancer. Nothing will keep us from pushing Wisconsin ahead. Because with the Freighter and the Medical College of Wisconsin Health Network, forward progress is what we stand for. That means always pushing and always innovating. With new technologies and breakthrough treatments that make life better, whether we're sick or well. It means providing more convenience and more ways to receive medical excellence for all your health needs, for big and small. It means being there for you, our family, caring for yours. So let's keep raising the bar. Let's keep testing the limits of what medicine can do. Let's push ahead and make life here as great as it can be. Visit Freighter.com to find out how.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
Life's better with American Family Insurance because their home policies help protect your dreams and come with peace of mind. Save up to 25% by bundling home, auto, and life. American Family Insurance. Get a quote from an agent at amfam.com. Products are not available in every state. Discounts may not apply to all coverages on an auto or home policy. Discounts do not apply to life insurance policies. Visit amfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating companies American Family Life Insurance Company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
The MPS City Conference basketball season is starting to heat up. Tuesday night, the Rufus King Generals represent MPS City Conference as they take on non-conference opponents, the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. on the award-winning 1017 The Truth app and 1017thetruth.com. City Conference basketball is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools, MPS Proud, and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. It is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Y'all annoying me right now, for real. You wanna talk, you wanna run your mouth, you want some gangs to stretch your mother out. We are set this out, set this.
I walked into the office playing this song.
Let's get these out.
I was ready to set it off in this mug. But this is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, the host of Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. You can always join in on the conversation on the Truth Talk to text line. Also, watch and stream us live on YouTube. That is 101.7 The Truth on YouTube, where you can always watch and stream us live right here on YouTube. Now, yesterday I talked about the state superintendent race because today is election day, and that is going to be the major election that you're going to see on your ballot today as we try to get down from three candidates down to 2 candidates. Brittany Kinzer is one of the individuals running for state superintendent. Jeff Wright is one of the people running for superintendent, and Jill Underly is the current incumbent who is running for superintendent. I think all 3 candidates are lackluster, but I decided I'm going to vote for Jeff. I'm going to vote for Jeff Wright because Jeff Wright, to me, overall, what he talked about, I think is, it fits what we need. Again, they're not the best. He worked in, he was a high school principal on the south side of Chicago before, has some type of degree from Harvard. I'm not sure if it's a certificate of actual degree from Harvard as well. And he's worked in Minnesota public schools as a social studies teacher, and he has his teaching license. Jill Underly also has her teaching license, something that Brittany Kinzer does not have. But here nor there, talking about that race, get out and vote. Somebody just said on the YouTube, 101.7 The Truth on YouTube, shout out to Christina. Christina actually just showed me something that sucks. She said, Kyle, these people do not care about this city. A total of 6 votes now. It's 12-15. Shameful. A total of 6 votes at 12-15. That is shameful. It really is shameful.
Damn.
At that ward, I'll be voting tonight. At my ward, I'm sure I'll probably be number 100 or hopefully number 100. And it sucks. And so the reason why it sucks is because what we have to understand is that when we don't vote in these elections, we don't have a voice, right? And we have to understand the reason why Donald Trump, specifically a Republican, is not going to do much for the African-American community is because we didn't vote for him. He owes us absolutely nothing. Like, he owes us nothing. When you don't support a candidate and the other candidate wins, then that other candidate is not indebted to you. Why do you think Democrats do a little something for us? They don't do enough. But Democrats on a national stage, if you see what Joe Biden did and how much money and funding was sent here, you see the construction that was sent here. The construction wasn't sent here because Joe Biden loved Wisconsin. The construction and all the funding and the federal dollars were sent to the state of Wisconsin because we're a blue state. And when you're a blue state and you have a blue president, that's when you see a lot of federal funding. And so overall, when you don't utilize your voting power in the largest city in the state of Wisconsin, to get out there and say who is going to be in charge of the Department of Public Instruction that oversees the education of students. And regardless if you have a child or you don't have a child, most of us know somebody in our life that we care about that has someone impacted by public instruction or instruction in general. And so we have to understand it's important for us to let our voices be heard. So it is disappointing to hear that we only have 6 votes in some voting wards so far today. We need to do better, Milwaukee, because we need to have our voices being heard. So basically what we're finding out is that Dane County, which holds Madison, Waukesha County, Kenosha County, Racine County, Walworth, Ozaukee, those counties are going to determine, and places out in, St. Croix, out west, they're going to determine things that happen for our students. And it's only us that we can blame. 833-212-1017. Rich, you are on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Good afternoon, Kyle.
Afternoon, sir.
I called about the election. I wanted to see if you can get me a number to call for a ride to the poll. And also, I want to mention about your lunch. You got to get you a lunch bag, man, a zipper lunch bag with Green Bay pack on it, or Milwaukee Bucks, something like that. And they'll know it's yours. Don't just leave no Target bag, man.
I'm going to be honest.
They thought you was shit.
No, see, I wasn't sharing. I'm Rich. I'm going to be honest with you. This is a shout out to my girl who didn't bring this up, but she gave me a lunch bag for Christmas, and I told her I'm not using a lunch bag. I ain't doing that. I'm using these plastic bags I got. So shout out to her for not rubbing it in yesterday by saying lunch bag. But then again, Zach, I don't care about that stupid lunch bag. And so, but then again, it was like a bag of salad, and it also was 2 boxes of bars of protein bars, like big protein bars. So
yeah, they thought you were sharing.
Yeah, I guess they thought I was sharing my salad too, huh? I guess. But no, Rich, I hear you. And
you know they didn't want the salad. You know they didn't want the salad. They threw the salad away.
They sure did throw the salad away. Ate everything else. So lesson learned, Rich. I appreciate you. And let me before you go, Rich, I'm trying to find out. And you know what's sad is I don't know if there's organizations that have rides to polls today, because when I did go see, I know they have some April 2025. I'm not sure if I don't think Souls to the Polls is doing it today. And so, unfortunately, I'm not sure if there are League of Women's Voters. I'm trying to see if they have rides to the polls today. and it does not.
Yeah, well, see, get that information from. I'm not into the computer. I can't look it up.
Yeah, unfortunately, it's looking like February 4th. Here we go. Rise to the polls. Here we go. I found something. I'll look into this over the break, but stay listening, and I'll provide information. It has disability voter rise to the polls today, and so I'm gonna take a look during the break, and then what I'm gonna do is just keep listening. I'm gonna provide some information to see what I can find.
Thank you very much. Have a good day.
All right, you too. Thank you so much. 833-212-1017. I'll definitely look into that and provide that information, because if he wants to vote, I'm going to help any way to help him vote. But Al, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts about the election?
Well, my thing is why is people dragging their feet like they got bricks and gout and hammer toes and bunions? Because y'all know how to run when it comes to Jesus Christ to that church. So y'all can run and vote. And the other thing I was going to tell you with them taking your lunch, a lot of them is nasty and ratchet like that. So that doesn't surprise me.
Disgusting.
And they probably put their finger in it and probably ate some of it too.
Al, yes? They legitimately, for the cashews, I saw somebody this morning. I left it out. I was like, I don't want this. I left it out. And I saw people eating it this morning. I'm like, bro, you realize that was like my personal cashews. And I don't think people understand. I ate those cashews Saturday morning. I legitimately was at my crib licking my fingers, and Lord knows what else I did, eating my cat. They were mine. This is my cashews, and people just eating it. People are savages around here.
Yeah, that's nasty. All right, have a good day.
You too, Al.
Bye-bye.
I appreciate that. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. Today is election day. Al brought up the fact that people ate my food today, so I was angry about that yesterday. I was angry about it this morning, but it is what it is. I'll get over it, but I'm definitely going to make sure people hear about it, because that's what I do. I'm on air, and I do stuff like that. But I teased before, we're going to talk about not just the election, but we're also going to have a conversation about choice in charter schools. And I just want to start out by saying this, is that a lot of these choice in charter schools, I believe, are a joke. They are. But the one positive I will say about them is the fact that they provide an alternative education. And usually for a lot of these choice of charter schools is that kids have to actually apply to be able to get into these schools, right? So that, to me, means that there's a little extra effort. That's why, to me, when I look at MPS, the schools, the high schools that do really well, when you look at a Rufus King High School and you look at a Reagan High School as well, those schools you have to apply. I'm sure there may be others too, but have a legitimate application process. Those two schools deny students from getting into their school because you must apply. You must have a certain score in order to get into those IB schools. That's why Rufus King and Reagan are such high-performance schools, because there is more than just you get assigned to the school or you sign up to go to the school. You actually need to have some type of credentials, criteria to get into these schools. And I think once a kid has to actually do something like that, they value their education. Once a parent actually helps their student with that process, they're actually more invested in their student's education. So I don't think there's any coincidence why the top performing schools in NPS are schools that have rigorous coursework, but also have a more strenuous application process and an admissions process that isn't just, oh, you sign up, you can come. And I think it's 100% based off the fact that kids care more, parents care more, and that's when you get those type of results. 833-212-1017. That is the Truth Talk to text line. And the reason why today I felt like I should talk about this, because we talked about the conversation yesterday, and I am a firm believer in public education, but I'm also a firm believer in our students getting educated. I believe in open enrollment as an option. I also a firm believer in Chapter 220. No longer exists, basically. I am someone who went through Chapter 220, which was an integration program that started back in the 1970s here to integrate schools in the state of Wisconsin. I was part of that integration process to integrate the suburbs, and the suburbs, they go to the Milwaukee schools. Unfortunately, the kids in the suburbs decided they didn't want to go to the Milwaukee schools, while the Milwaukee schools went to the suburbs, and so eventually the program basically has gone away. But I was a fan of that because it was like an exchange program, right? But I am adamantly against my property tax dollars going to private schools and charter schools because of the fact that some of these schools don't have to show their numbers, and some of these schools are failing as well. Like, I don't like the fact that my private tax dollars get sent to other places to basically fill voids and fill seats. And I say that because, again, I'm not talking in whole, because all schools don't just depend on our students to pay their payroll. Like, that is not true. But there are a lot of schools out there that, yeah, they probably have a good heart. They want to educate the students, but they understand that these students are the lifeline, right? They're not actively looking for full-pay students. They're looking for students that get their money, that come from low-income households, or students that are part of the choice program or whatever it is, in order for them to have their dollars go to a choice or charter school. And the reason why I am against it is because too often they are not held accountable for their poor academics. And I'm not calling out any schools. I'm just giving information, right? And when I look at some of these schools like a Atlas Preparatory, which has a high enrollment of students that are charter choice that make up the majority of their student population, and I see their academic results. Again, I'm happy they provide another opportunity, but the academic results aren't there, right? Their students, just like MPS students, are failing to meet expectations. I look at a Destiny High School here in Milwaukee that, again, a lot of their students, most of their students are also students who are choice type students, that the school is funded by the government giving them money for the students, not by these students actually paying to go to that school. And those students aren't meeting the expectations. I look at a Milwaukee Academy of Science, which is great at basketball, but overall, again, most of their students are choice students and getting funded by the government, but 60% of their students are below basic. Right? We got mad at MPS about how their students were below basic. 60% of their students are below basic, and 34% of their students are just at basic. So we're talking about you're talking about 94% of the students in the school is performing at basic or lower. Like, that isn't good enough. So we get up in arms about MPS and mad about MPS, but we have schools in our communities that aren't doing any better by our students. And so that's where my big issue comes in, is that we get mad and upset at MPS, but we don't have this same anger for these choice and charter schools that are pimping out our students and utilizing the tax dollars to pay their administration, to pay their principal, to pay their teachers, right? And then on top of that, what we have to understand is that when there is a void left and MPS needs more funding, guess who has to pay that? We do as taxpayers. They raise property taxes to make us pay that. So that's why we need to be more, aware of what's happening when it comes to this choice and charter schools, because, again, I am an advocate of some of these choice and charter schools, the ones that are successful, but there needs to be higher accountability, because you can do it yourself just like I did. You can just go and look up. All you got to do is literally Google, Milwaukee Academy of Science or Rufus King, Google their test score data, their state report card, and you can find any school state report card. And what you will find is that a lot of these schools that are these choice and charter schools that are basically using black folks, black children, to pay their bills and still not educating them at a level that they need to be educated at. They're not closing the achievement gap. So if I'm going to have my tax dollars support somebody, I want it to support someone that is actually closing the achievement gap, not also failing our students, but getting to hide behind MPS and say, oh, point at them, worry about them, but look at our beautiful school. Look what we're doing. We have on uniforms. We're doing fantastic, but our students suck. And when I say students suck, they suck academically. They need to be better. They're great kids, but academically they're not where they're need to be at, and that falls on the school administration. 833-212-1017. We're having a conversation talking about the fact that a lot of these choice and charter schools around here are pimping our children out for a paycheck. Because y'all remember Universal School of Milwaukee. Y'all remember Universal School of Milwaukee. Well, Universal School of Milwaukee went bankrupt and they closed their doors in the spring semester with months left for kids to go back to school. And guess what school district had to house most of those students? Milwaukee Public Schools. And that's where my issue comes, is that these schools, they can come and they can go. Banner Prep is another one. They can come and they can go. And there's no accountability whatsoever. And they just keep recycling. We need to make sure that we're holding these schools as accountable as we're trying to hold Milwaukee Public Schools. 833-212-1017. We'll continue this conversation on the other side. And I'm also going to attack the fact that a lot of these private schools, these Catholic, Christian, Lutheran, a lot of these private schools is sitting here wanting some of our dollars when the Lord said they're supposed to be the ones that step up and fill that gap, fill that void. 833-212-1017. This is Truth to Power on the award-winning 1017 The Truth with Kyle Wallace.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. Truth Nation, get ready to celebrate excellence, passion, and the power of community as we host our first annual Truth Community Awards on Friday, February 28th at Potawatomi Casino and Hotel. We will celebrate 10 unsung heroes of our community and roll out the red carpet for those making a positive impact every day. Tickets are selling fast, so go to 1017thetruth.com today to make sure you do not miss out on the biggest celebration in Milwaukee. Tickets are only $25 and include free food, free drinks, and free truth giveaways. Don't miss an evening filled with entertainment, heartfelt stories, and celebrating our city with the 1017 The Truth team. Visit 1017thetruth.com right now to buy your tickets to our Truth Community Awards. That is 1017thetruth.com to secure your spot for a night of celebrating the excellence of our community. The Truth Community Awards is presented by Potawatomi Casino and Hotel and sponsored by Community Advocates. Truth Nation, let us talk our ish for a moment. There is no other station in the country where you get a front row seat to hear from some of the biggest names in politics, pop culture, and sports. People like Grammy Award winner John Legend.
Knowing that fight isn't over, knowing that we've got to stay motivated and stay inspired. Glory was a song that myself and Common wrote. Two brothers from the Midwest, from Chicago and from Springfield, Ohio.
Oscar Award winning actor Don Cheadle.
I know that we're the bright, shiny thing that sometimes gets the attention, but I would say don't listen to celebrities. You don't have to listen to us. Listen to yourself.
And President Donald Trump's son, Don Jr.
When did we have a strong economy? And I don't think anyone with a straight face can say right now. And the reality, when you look at it, it's not even voting for my father. Look at the team that's now surrounding him.
Tap into the award-winning and nationally recognized 1017 The Truth by downloading the Truth app and streaming us live at 1017 The Truth on YouTube. Milwaukee Black Talk.
I walk on the shoulders of giants who have come before me.
I am ASAP and Maya Angelou.
I am Marva Collins and Frederick Douglass.
From A to Z, I celebrate, emulate, and commemorate their example.
This is part of the Declaration of Excellence Milwaukee College Prep Scholars recite, not just during Black History Month, but each and every morning, because our students don't just honor history, they're determined to shape it. Enroll your scholar at MilwaukeeCollegePrep.com.
When you're high, you feel different. Pretty obvious, right? You think different, talk different, but if you feel different, you drive different. So if you're high, just don't drive. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
Happy kids heal faster, and that's why Starlight is dedicated to improving the mental well-being of sick kids across the U.S. Learn how at starlight.org.
Truck crash? Call Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
You are listening to Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
It's probably like a day. If I gotta fight for love, then it's like a
1017 The Truth is the home of Milwaukee Public School City Conference basketball. Tonight we have a non-conference battle as the Rufus King Generals represent the city as they travel to take on the Whitefish Bay Blue Dukes. All right, now Blue Dukes, shout out to Duke Pride. Tip-off is set for 7:30 p.m. My little cousin played for King, so shout out to King, too. The City Conference Game of the Week on the award-winning 1017 The Truth, the Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com is sponsored by Milwaukee Public Schools and presented by Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all. 833-212-1017. On the other side, I was talking about the, choice charter and all this. And again, I do appreciate the fact that there are other options for students. I just feel like a lot of these schools are utilizing the choice charter as a way to basically, fund fully, right? Like if it was not for the students, then they would not be around. And I just wish that they could find other ways to definitely for sure fund these students versus having to utilize our kids. I know even the Hope Christian schools, I used to work at a Hope Christian school. Look at that. Most of those students are choice charter students, right? Their achievement, there's an achievement gap there. So that's where a lot of my frustration comes. But even more so, when you think about a Wisconsin Lutheran, a Milwaukee Lutheran, a Marquette University High School, a Divine Savior Holy Angels, a Pius High School, a Dominican High School, when you look at some of these private religious schools, they also get choice charter students, right? And what frustrates me is that if they really cared about diversifying their student population and really cared about educating Milwaukee, the place that their schools are located at, then what they would do is they would look at how much students can afford, right? They would look at the income that the household have. And if your tuition is $5,000 a year, you would say, based off of your taxes, based off your income, this family can afford X amount of dollars per year, and they would just make it need-based, right? That would be the godly thing to do to educate these kids, is really just look at what the need is. But instead, a lot of these schools depend on the state. They depend on the city of Milwaukee for our tax dollars. They depend on MPS to take some of their dollars and move it to fund some of these schools. And I just don't think that's 100% right. I understand the system is broken. MPS is definitely broken. And we got to have other alternatives. And I love the fact that these kids can go to a Marquette University high school because they're better off at Marquette than they are in MPS. I will say that over and over and over. But at the end of the day, we need to find a better way, because I don't think my tax dollars need to keep going up and up and up to fill the void and fill the gap. 833-212-1017. Alicia, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts and comments on this conversation?
Hi, Kyle. Congratulations on your show. And
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to say, born and raised in Milwaukee, attended MPS, really wanted to put my kids into MPS, but when I started doing the research, looking into test scores, it just didn't seem feasible to me. Signed my daughter up for some of the MPS schools that were more successful. She got waitlisted for every single one of those schools. Tried to do, Shorewood and some of the surrounding districts, got waitlisted for those schools. Luckily, she is now at a choice school. And I guess I just want to say, why can't we put something into place where choice schools do have to meet the same requirements as MPS funding? Because right now, you saying you don't want your tax money going to a school that's not accountable. Well, it's going to MPS, and we know that they're not accountable. We know that they're failing, and you don't have any more say-so at MPS with your tax dollars than you would at a choice school.
Well, you vote for the school board. I mean, there are. I get what you're saying, Alicia. You're 100% correct. I get what you're saying, but the difference is it's a public school where my public tax dollars go to, right? Instead of my dollars going to a choice charter school that's more private. They may have a board that dictates things that unelected, where our school board is an elected school board who is supposed to represent their district. So, I mean, I get what you're saying where we don't have much of a say, but we definitely do have an influence on what could happen because of the fact that we vote in the school board, and they make a decision who the superintendent is as well. So, but I get what you're saying 100%. I feel you, Alicia.
Right. And I think as long as, the teachers union, I really think MPS kind of needs to just collapse on itself and start over, because it's not successful, and it hasn't been for decades. And again, this is just the status quo, and it's not fair to the kids of this city. We deserve better. We deserve more. And it starts with the education of our kids.
No, I 100% agree. Thank you, Alicia. I 100% agree. I 100% agree. And that's where I think the issue is that we don't have enough good, solid options, right? Again, I am not anti-alternative options, but if my tax dollars is going to be siphoned off to go to somebody else that's not going to be a public entity that I have any control, I can't dictate what they do at these schools because they have a board and they may have a director, they may have a president that runs basically privately, then I definitely want these schools to be performing at a high level. That's what I definitely want. 833-212-1017. Miss Carolyn, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Well, congratulations to your new show. My thoughts on this is that I am so appalled. I have been listening to these stories. I'm not from Milwaukee. I married a man that was from Milwaukee. And the stories that he told about his high school days. And then I see my brother-in-law, who they just passed through school, and he's illiterate. And I'm like, and I'm still hearing these stories. And these two gentlemen, well, one of them is 70 and the other one is about 69, but I'm still hearing the same stories. And then I look at the school board. How is that lady still the president of the school board? That makes no sense whatsoever. The whole board should have been wiped out.
I agree.
And start for fresh. And then the new superintendent that they got and stuff, I was listening to Sherwin's show and stuff, and maybe I heard him wrong or whatever, but I thought he said something about she came from a failing school district.
She did. She came from the Boston, Massachusetts school district that she basically was fired. I shouldn't say that. Let me be very correct. She had a separation agreement because they came to an agreement that they want to go in a different direction. And so she basically had a separation agreement after 3 years of being in that school district because it was not meeting the standards that Boston, Massachusetts wanted. So it seemed like a perfect candidate for here in Milwaukee.
No, No, that's my problem. No. I'm sorry, and everybody keep on talking about you don't have any powers. The parents do have powers because you guys need to get together and y'all need to rally. Because back in the 60s, when all those movements was going on and stuff, our parents wasn't playing. They were not playing at all.
Well, what happened then? Because that's what I want to understand. So what happened? When did parents start not playing about their kids and caring about their kids' education? Because for me personally, my household was different, but overall, having an academic background where I come from family that worked in the system. I worked in the school system since the age of 14. I was at Oliver Wendell's Home Elementary School from 14 to 23 for 9 years. And I got to see it, right? So when did we have this disconnect?
The disconnect came when the parents stopped being.
Oh, I'm sorry. We lost Miss Carolyn, but it said when the parents stopped being, I don't know, parents. Not 100% sure what she was going to say, but that's what I always think about where this disconnect happened, because I always hear about how in the past education was was basically told to these kids how great they can be. My parents, going to school in the 70s, was told, oh, you need to go to college, you need to get your education, or you need to go work at this factory, you need to go do all this. Like, there was a level of care from the school about the kids' success in education and from the household as well. And it seems like something just fell off. I don't know where it fell off at, but we definitely need to pick it back up. But 833-212-1017, we're having a conversation about choice in charter schools, and I'll reiterate and I'll say it until I'm blue in the face, even though I can't get blue in the face because I'm black. Maybe I could if I got choked or something like that. But the issue that I have is that I truly feel like these charter schools have become government welfare pimps, right? That's what I believe they have become, right? Because all of the students that fund a lot of these schools is basically coming from state aid, right? And they are not doing their job to successfully close the achievement gap. So instead of just reading all the headlines for some of these schools, we need to actually look at what these schools are doing, because a lot of these schools are not doing right by our kids, even if they are a private school. And I promise you this, the schools that are making headlines today about how great they are, if anything were to go wrong, if they didn't meet the enrollment number they needed to, they will drop your kid off at the corner and they will say, forget them. And when I say the corner, I mean as not pick them up, and they'll close the school building. MPS just can't do that. 833-212-1017. Van, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. What are your thoughts on this conversation?
Hello. I was going to pick up where the lady left off with, asked what was the disconnect between what's happening now with the kids and back then. I was about to say, I know the one thing I noticed is that parents side with the kids whenever that call go home from the parent, from the teacher. Parents side with the kids. Like when I was a kid, it wasn't nothing I could tell my parents that the teacher did. Like if a teacher called, it was like, man, they were messing up. I couldn't go home and say anything to make my parents side with me over the teacher. Now it's like the parents always side with the kids over the teacher.
That's unfortunate. I mean, and that comes to accountability, and that's something that we definitely lack is a lot of accountability. 833-212-1017. On the other side, we'll take more calls. We'll wrap up this conversation because I do want to share my thoughts about the fact that I know it's a hard line of saying that, it's not my responsibility to pay for some of these kids to be going to private schools where I have no say or jurisdiction of what goes on in those schools. But it is what it is. We all have the right to have our own feelings, and that's the way that I feel. But 833-212-1017, that's the Truth Talk to text line. We'll take these calls after the break, but keep it locked. This is Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
More of Truth to Power is next on 1017 The Truth, The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com. On Friday night, the Milwaukee Panthers look to make it 3 wins in a row as they travel to Ohio to take on conference foe, the Youngstown State Penguins.
Bob it back in for J. Mike, bouncing inside for Franklin, and Aaron Franklin gives the Panthers the lead, 67-66.
Scott Warris has the coverage Friday starting at 7:30 p.m. on 1017 The Truth and the Milwaukee Panthers Sports Network from Learfield.
A theft, and KP will rise. He throws it down.
Tip-off happens at 8 p.m.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris from Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You can go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school, college, you can get a bachelor's and a master's degree, and you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella windows and doors at 0% interest. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than just stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and your doors are secure for years to come. Their expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. So if anything ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. So why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends February 28th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
Whether you're an artist playing accountant, a barista trying to be a bean counter, or a student just looking to get started, the UW Credit Union app lets you be free to be you. With free credit scores, free online bill pay, and the ability to send money to friends. Because with fewer fees, you can do more of what you love. UW Credit Union, here for every you. Join today at uwcu.org. Federally insured by NCUA.
At We Energies, we're committed to building a bright, sustainable energy future. We're investing in clean energy projects like solar, wind, and battery storage. As a leader in the decarbonization effort, our goal is to achieve net zero carbon emissions from our generation fleet by 2050. It's part of our plan to provide the affordable, reliable, and clean energy you depend on. Learn more at weenergies.com. We Energies, people you can trust, energy you can depend on. This message was paid for by the stockholders of WEC Energy Group.
American Family Insurance is a lot like Captain America. He protects the world.
It's just doing my job.
And we help protect your dreams with amazing auto and home coverage. American Family Insurance. Get a quote and find an agent at amfam.com. And see Marvel Studios' Captain America: Brave New World.
Suit up. We need to move.
In theaters February 14th. This film is not yet rated.
Products not available in every state. American Family Mutual Insurance Company, SI, and its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
This is Truth to Power on 1017 The Truth app, and streaming live on 1017 The Truth on YouTube.
Welcome back into Truth to Power here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace taking you through Truth to Power. We've been having a conversation talking about the choice to charter conversation because, again, I am an advocate for our kids having options, but I am not an advocate of my tax dollars going to these sorry choice and charter schools that are out there. There's some good ones, but there's a lot of bad ones that lack accountability, and we're going to hold MPS accountable. We need to be holding them accountable as well. And you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I have about 30 seconds here for you.
I'm an MPS teacher, and I also am a special ed teacher. So when the choice and charter kiddos come in, we get a lot of those kiddos who are 504 or kids with who should have IEPs mid-year because choice and charters do not have to keep those kids. Mm-hmm. They can kick them out,
they
and
sure
they
can.
do.
And they keep some of the dollars.
The money, they keep the money, and we get nothing. Just saying.
Yeah, no, thank you, and and thank you so much. I appreciate you saying that because that's the thing that I think people need to understand is that MPS is the place that if a kid gets kicked out, and I saw this. I worked at Hope Christian High School, no longer exists. They have the elementary schools, which is a great option, a good option, an option for people to go to. Right? It's a personal choice. But I know for a fact there were kids inside that building that school did not have the high school. I don't know about the elementary schools. The high school did not have the tools in order to support a kid with an IEP, right? And if a kid gets kicked out, where do they go? They go to MPS halfway through the season, right? And that money stays with those schools. I'm telling you, they're pimping our children at some of these choice and charter schools. Martin, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth. I have about 30 seconds for you, Martin.
What's up, my brother?
What's happening?
I'm tired of the poverty pimping. They need to treat our kids better. Things that have to change in Milwaukee. I got you all the information. I got it on the line. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy what I sent you, but we're going to address that because I guarantee you the white power structure in Milwaukee will not survive, and it will not defeat us, my brother, and it will not dumb our kids down. I'm out.
He is out. Shout out to Martin. Thank you so much. And so I'll get ready to wrap up with this, and I'm going to share some information about people getting out to vote today. But overall, what I really want is I want our students to have a great education because I think our students deserve a great education. And so that's the thing that matters to me. But I also want to make sure if I'm going to send my money anywhere, it needs to be supporting schools that are actually successful. But then on top of that, it is a parent's responsibility, such as we had Alicia who called in. She exhausted all different avenues to try to get her kids in other schools. That's what parents should be doing. That is what a good parent is. A parent that actually values their child's education, right? That's what we should applaud right there. So for, shout out to Holler Fuller Academy, but that's another one, the Markey Academy of Sciences. Shout out to those schools for giving different opportunities. But we got the devil's in the detail. Are these schools achieving at a higher level than the MPS school, right? Just because they got on uniforms don't mean that your kid is going to be smarter. It does not mean your kid is going to get the educational skills that they need in order to be successful. But again, this has been Truth to Power here on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Make sure you get out and vote today, because the big election on the ballot is the state superintendent race. And in that state superintendent race, there are 3 people running for the position. You have the incumbent, Jill Underley, who is the current former superintendent, who I think has done a mid job. You have Jeff Wright, who is currently the Sauk Prairie superintendent. And again, that's the individual that I'm voting for, simply because when I took a look at his information and his background, I like the fact that he had a good educational background. He just seems like the best candidate out of the 3, even though I will say that these candidates they're just not great. And then Brittany Kinzer, who's supported by Republicans. I'm not for her. Also, she also was part of the Wisconsin. She was the director of Wisconsin Rocket Ship Schools. I'm telling y'all, just do your homework. Rocket Ship Schools, I looked up their report card, and their report card was bad too. Rocket Ship Schools overall had students, based off this report here, according to Google and based off niche, is that 8% of the students are at least proficient in math and 12% are proficient in reading. But this is the person we want as our superintendent. Stop playing with me. Do not trust anything these Republicans do, because all these Republicans care about is trying to get power. So make sure you get out there and use your power to vote. Again, I'm voting for Jeff Wright. Do your own homework. I'm just voting for the guy who I think is the best of a bad bunch of candidates. But again, this has been Truth to Power on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. I am Kyle Wallace, and tomorrow, yes, for tomorrow's show, it's Wednesday, and every other Wednesday I'm going to have the great legendary Homer Blow joining me. So make sure y'all tune in tomorrow for Homer Blow as he joins me right here on Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace. And also shout out Souls to the Polls for those who are looking to vote today. Go ahead, give a call to Souls to the Polls. I'm not sure if they're running today, but you can always give a call for their free ride hotline. It's 414-742-1060. That's 414-742-1060 if you are looking to get a ride to the poll today. This has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Get out and vote, 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 vote. Let your voice be absolutely heard today, because what I heard earlier today about the voter turnout in Milwaukee is absolutely terrible. Let's boost it up. Let's utilize our vote. Let's try to wield some type of power. But this has been Truth to Power with Kyle Wallace on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Tori Lowe Show is up next. Peace out. I'll see y'all tomorrow.
Calling all Black-owned business owners and entrepreneurs. Are you looking to share your story and grow your reach? We